Hi, I'm Susan with Kiwi Lane Designs, and this coming Saturday is World Card Making Day, and as you can see, we have cards on our minds. Now, I have to be honest, I used to hate making cards. I always considered myself to be a scrapbooker, but I was not a card maker. The designer templates have changed that for me. Now, the great thing about using the designer templates to make cards is that you can use up your scraps of paper. I mean, you can have the littlest piece of scrap and you can do something really cute with it for your cards. And that's basically what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to show you how I'm going to use these scraps. Actually, these scraps are from a layout I just recently made about a couple weeks ago, and I'm just going to use them to make a card for my friend that just brought me a meal because I was sick, so I'm going to make her a thank you card. But to get started, we are going to first start with our card base. So come on over and I'll show you how we do this. Now, like I said, we need a card base to get started. These little things, these guys right here, you could pick these up at the store, $6. Comes with your card base. They're a little bit smaller size, but they also come with envelopes. Great buy, great to have on hand, really easy to whip a card together. If you don't have any of those, of course you can always take an 8.5 by 11, trim it in half at 5.5, and then that will give you two different card bases, which then of course you can fold over like that. Or if you want to make even a bigger card, and say you have some 12 by 12 paper handy, all we're going to do is we're going to cut that 12 by 12 in half. And this is always fun to kind of mix it up. This will give you a 6 by 6 card, a little bit bigger than your traditional size, but can be a lot of fun. And that's what I want to play with today is the 6 by 6 size. So I'm going to go ahead and fold that over. Give me my basic card base to work on top of. And then I'm going to go ahead and grab one of our card borders. Now, if you're not really familiar with the designer templates or haven't really gotten any to make cards with, we recommend at least a card border and an accessory. You can see all the different ones on our website that we have. Now, the card borders are designed for 5.5, so if you want to play around with a 6 by 6 size, I would just recommend making your top background piece a little bit smaller. Let me see here. So when I say top background, so like you can add a little color to the base to work on top of. So this should give us, let's see, is it 5.5? Yep, so we have plenty of scraps there. So I'm just going to go ahead and quickly cut out a 5.5 square. Which is going to work perfectly on our 6 by 6. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and take our designer templates and basically just line them up like you see here. You do have the side A and the side B, and so if you use double-sided paper, you just simply flip that and you can get a nice layered look like that. Another fun thing we could do is back to back, or you can of course even put one on the inside of your card. Now I'm going to show how we cut those out here in a minute, but that's just a kind of a refresher on all the design options you can do for cards. So let's go ahead and do a back-to-back. This is one accessory right here, but I'm just going to go ahead and just use the 1T on this card. We could do something like that. Or say we want to even do maybe a couple accents poking out. So that could be fun too, just to see, again, play with the designer template, see what you can create, and you'll come up with a lot of ideas. Now, if you want a couple other options, I would recommend even maybe adding another tiny accessory, which by doing that, just give you a little bit more elements to work with. We could do something like that. Maybe 2 flowers could be really cute too. Okay. Now, the fun borders. If I wanted to say add some little extra layer, which I really have no idea what card I'm going to make yet, but we're going to get it. We're going to put it together as we go here. We could do something cute like that. Always a little adds a little more character when you throw in these fun card borders by just playing with those layers. All right, let's go with this one for time's sake. Sometimes you can get carried away with playing, so really just kind of come up with an idea and then go with it. So let's go with something like that. Alrighty, now we're going to take our scraps and I'm just going to simply trace them out of what we have left. Now both of these are really cute on both sides, so I'm going to go ahead and take my borders, move those to the side, take your side A or your side B, and then we're just going to trace right around that. Now you could cut that down to 5.5 or just make a line and then just cut around it. And then same thing there, you could take a paper trimmer and cut that down, but since I'm going back to back, I don't need it to be completely straight. So I'm just going to cut that right out of my scraps of paper. And then do that as well. And then the one cut up the middle, will give us our 2 pieces, which then we're going to get our back to back like that with the one cut. I am going to ink those here in a minute, but let's go ahead and figure out what our next pieces are going to be. We have a layer in the middle. We have the tag. And I have a couple scraps here. Let's go ahead and cut that off. So I have that pattern. And then what I do when I'm trying to figure out what pattern to use, I just lay it up against my other ones, see what that looks like. We even have this stripe, although that could be a little bit too busy for me. So let's do, well, can I fit this out of there? Yep, I probably can. Sweet, I think we can make that work. So what I'm gonna do is probably take this piece, trace it out of here. I can't do it straight, that's okay. I'm just going to take it to the closest I can to the edge, trace right around that. Now we're just going to cut that out of our scraps of paper. If you go with that pencil, don't worry about it because we're going to ink those edges here coming up soon. But just want to make note of that in case you're new to the Play to Create system. I am going to cover those pencil marks. Okay, and then another fun thing we like to do is stamping. I need to add a thank you stamp or something to this card, which is one of the reasons why I added the tag. I like to use the tags or even tiny brackets for my sentiment on my cards. So those are 2 sets that I would recommend if you're looking to get a couple sets for something like that. I have this cardstock, so that will fit there. But before I go ahead and cut that out, what I'm going to do is stamp my sentiment first. It's really shiny on this cardstock, but it's fun. So, is that dry? Oh, it needs a second. We'll come back to that. Must be the type of cardstock. Either way, it'll dry here in a minute. And then we have this flower as well. So I can probably get it out of that scrap of paper. I just want to check this one. Nope, no good on that one. So I think we can make this one work. You could trace it on either side, especially on the accent pieces. But I'm going to go ahead and trace it on the back side. It's kind of a tight squeeze, but I really think we can make that work. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and cut that out as well. Of course, when I get this all cut out, that inking is really going to help everything come to life. Just trim that up a little. All right, we have a cute flower like you see there. Go ahead and go back to this one. Line that up. You can adjust it where needed for your stamp, and I think that will work for what we're trying to do. And then we have cut all of our pieces for our card. So really it just comes down to inking the edges. Nope, a little off right there. There we go. Now, you guys might be more of a perfectionist when it comes to cutting, but I'm honestly, I don't stress too much about it because I really do know that inking is going to help it all. So just to show you how that inking works, you're just going to ink those edges. Especially on these lighter patterns, it really helps. And you can see on the accessories, I go one way, and then I'm just going to go back the other way, like this. So hopefully you can see how easy it is to make those cards, and also a great way to use your scraps of paper. So you can really have a lot of fun with all the different layers. And then, of course, your scraps of paper, you can get good use out of them. So I'm going to finish this up and ink the edges. Then all I have to do is go and deliver it to my friend because she was so sweet, like I said, to bring us dinner. So I went ahead and finished inking all the edges. I added some simple embellishments. That's really all you need. You don't need to add much more than that, and you can get a really cute card to give to someone. Now, if you're a card maker, you're going to love the card borders and tiny accessories. They're a great addition to all the other supplies that maybe you have for making cards, and they make it really easy. And if you're someone like I used to be, where I used to hate making cards, I can tell you that they've changed my mind, and I now know that I can make really cute cards, and a great way to use up my scraps of paper, which I'm sure all of us have a lot of scraps of paper that we can use. Now, if you want, you can stick around. We are going to be having some card challenges, and we'll be posting some ideas that you can enjoy. That will be on our blog, and we're going to be doing that tomorrow and Friday in celebration of World Card Making Day, which is on Saturday. And then also, I challenge you this week to actually make a card and give it to someone. Sometimes that's the most challenging thing, is to actually get the cards out of your drawer and to give them to someone, to share them with someone. So I challenge you to do that, whether that's a friend, a sister that lives in another city, or whatever it may be. Send them a note telling you you're thinking about them, or maybe a thank you or a birthday card, whatever it may be, to actually do that this week. And that's it. If you guys have any questions, you can email us at customerservice@kamielane.com. You can join us on Facebook as well. And thank you for watching.